Okay, hello Karen, let's look at your answer. Okay, starting from question A. What does source A tell you about the management of discrimination? Okay, your answer is source A tells me that the management of discrimination is very successful. Okay, this is evident as the citizens agreed in the positive traits of the survey. 80% agreed that it's a good thing. Least agreed prejudice against. Okay, quote the evidence for the list. Okay, but for this I can give you L2. Okay, this shows that people in Australia accept one another despite their differences, does not discriminate, is well managed. Very good. This is L3. Full marks for this question. Okay. Okay, next question. Why was this infographic published? Okay, this is a purpose question. This question, so this answer is, this infographic was published because it is to criticize the country. So the audience is the government. Okay, criticize. Okay, give me a minute. Criticize the country for not managing. Your message is this: to let the government realize the severity of racial discrimination and take measures to managing it effectively. This is your outcome. Because during that time racial discrimination has improved, but there are still people being discriminated. Good. Okay, your answer so far so good. You have everything except for evidence, right? So if you look at source B, what are the evidences you can quote? Either 18%, 3 out of 7, 3 out of 10, or this quote here that social cohesion is low. Either of these three. Okay, so in this case it's a pity because you have everything except for evidence, so I can only give you up to L2 for your message without any evidence. Okay, please be very careful. So only 2 marks out of 7 for this question. Okay, so please take note of this. Okay, let's look at the next question. How different are sources C and D? This is comparison because it's how different. To some extent it can be similar, so I need one similarity and one difference. Okay, so sources C and D are different in terms of the perspective in looking into multicultural affairs. In terms of the perspective, so I will expect you say one say accept, one say discriminate. Okay, source C shows that people are still being discriminated about terrorism. Okay, you just keep to race. Okay, about race, this is evident from they put us all in one basket and we are all terrorists, unfortunately. Okay, this should be L3. Okay, where is your explanation? Okay, however, source D shows that Australia is still a stable and cohesive society. Be careful, you are quoting. You are just copying and pasting. This shows that the majority of the country are peaceful, but in some regions of the country still be chaos and racial discrimination. Okay, so I can only award you for difference. What about similarity? Okay, in this case you can only get L3 4 out of 8 for missing out on the similarity. Okay, please take note. Okay, next question. Question D. In what ways is source E reliable about discrimination? So you need to pinpoint what exactly about discrimination. Okay, your answer is source E is reliable about the existing discrimination in Australia. Okay, this is evident from the source research that there is a worldwide perception that a bunch of racists. Okay, in this case, your evidence is not the main evidence. Why do I say that? If we turn to source E, okay, you see this? There is a worldwide perception that Australians are a bunch of racists. Is this still a fair assessment today? The author actually questioned whether this assumption is true. So this should not be the main evidence. It should be later on, based on what this person feels. This part is not everywhere, but is there. The target people who look different. This will show that there is racism. Okay, so I cannot accept your evidence for this part. Okay, it is a very weak L2. Let me check the mark scheme. Okay, it's a L3 because L2 is misinterpretation. It's a very weak L3. This shows that racism and discrimination still exists. Okay, so your evidence is very thin, that's why your explanation you can't elaborate much too. So when I cross-refer to source C supports in saying that we still exist. They put us all in one basket and we are all terrorists, unfortunately. Okay, potentially I can accept. This shows that racial discrimination is still happening. To sum up, supports reliable. Okay. Okay, but Karen, because your evidence here is not strong, I can only give you up to L3. Let me see. L3 3. Okay. Okay, last question. How useful is source F in showing that Australia has not been effective? Okay. So source F is useful in showing that Australia has not been effective in managing discrimination. This is evident from 12 to 29% are likely to be in prison. Good. Let me look at the mark scheme. This is L2. This suggests that the judge is discriminating because of their race. Okay, this part, be careful. It's only about race, there is no language and religion. Okay, they are likely to be arrested. Discrimination is present. L2. Sorry. Okay, next. When I cross-refer to source C, you love source C a lot. Also support source F in saying that discrimination still exists. This is evident from a source. They put us in one basket and we are all terrorists. This shows that locals regard foreigners as terrorists. Link back to discrimination, because that's the focus of your question, right? Okay, so in this case it's a L3 for the evidence, but the explanation is incomplete. Okay, to sum up, since supports reliable, useful, can. Okay, so this is L3 5. Okay, not too bad. Lastly, okay, the essay question. The question is asking you, is the context is about diabetes, is a growing problem. Okay, this extract provided 2 hints, 2 reasons because of unhealthy diet and lack of exercise. Okay, so maybe your solutions can target these 2 main causes. Okay, so the question asks you to suggest 2 ways to help prevent. This is the question focus which you need to come back to. Okay, let's see. In your opinion, the 2 ways are proper education and setting laws for healthy boundaries. Okay, so in this case it sounds a bit informal. Maybe you can say setting dietary recommendations. Okay, if you want to say by law, then by all means. Okay, firstly, the schools and public educators can educate people to live a healthy way. Okay, for a healthy life, cultivate a habit of eating healthily. Good enough, fair enough, but I need examples. What are examples of a healthy life? Okay, so go on to say what should educators do. In this case, it's a weak L2, insufficient description. Okay, when a person can make the right choice, it prevents the possibility of getting diseases like diabetes. Okay, so this is a potential explanation, but I need you to first give me examples. Use these examples to prove how it can help a person make a right choice. Then your explanation will be a lot more convincing. Okay. Secondly, setting a specific rule on various foods as it can help. Okay, again, example. Okay, so your L2 again is absent in this case. Okay, so I can only award you L2 3. Okay, for pinpointing 2 ways but insufficient description. Okay, in total you get 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 plus 6, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 upon 42. Okay, I will convert this into a percentage for you.